So this is my part 2 of my Call of Duty series where I talk about the last 3 Call of Duties, and now we're moving on to this piece of shit, Advanced Warfare. So if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go and watch that back so you know what's going on. Just before this starts, I want to show you a clip so you understand how good the cinematics were in Advanced Warfare.
Everybody know they're going. Hoorah! Everybody ready? Hoorah! Let's do this. Mitchell, Hines, lead out.
Let's get it done. North Korea was invading Seoul.
So the Advanced Warfare campaign sets you as Mitchell, who is a US Marine. You're sent into Seoul because North Korea are attacking it, and you lose your friend Will Irons, who is the son to Jonathan Irons, who's Kevin Spacey in the game. So then once his son dies, Mitchell then becomes part of the Atlas Corporation. In the first mission, Mitchell loses his arm, so then Jonathan Irons, Kevin Spacey, enlists Mitchell into the Atlas Corporation. So then, the story goes on. I won't give any spoilers if you haven't played. You probably have played it, but I won't give you any spoilers away. For me, the graphics in this game were a lot better than Ghosts. They weren't as drab and dry and dreary, but they weren't amazing. The gameplay was decent. To me, I didn't really like the boost jumping everywhere. The chain-based movement is much more what I prefer. The campaign the storyline was decent. The characters were decent. The setting that Advanced Warfare put you in was a good setting. You start off in the US Marines, and then you would slowly integrate into the Atlas Corporation, and then once that would happen, you would find yourself using a lot more advanced gear and a lot more advanced weaponry. As you can see now, this is when you lose Will Irons, the son of Jonathan Irons, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, so he blows up, and then when he blows up, you then skip to the funeral of his. Right now, he's about to blow up. So yeah, when he does eventually blow up, that's when you first get to meet Kevin Spacey, who's his dad, and it really puts you at a point where you don't get to choose, but if you did get to choose, you had the choice between staying as a civilian or becoming part of Atlas, where Kevin Spacey would then fund I forgot what it's called now, prosthetics. So you'd have a prosthetic arm, but this was a different prosthetic arm because it was a lot more advanced from what the US Marines had. Now that's Kevin Spacey there playing Jonathan Irons. But for me, Advanced Warfare campaign wasn't as good as COD Ghost. It was decent, but it wasn't as good. You'll hear me say, the game's decent a lot just because the game wasn't amazing. Not the campaign wasn't amazing. The game, it wasn't as good as Ghost, if you ask me, and it doesn't touch Black Ops or a game like COD 4, which for me, COD 4 is at the top of all Call of Duty games. So now moving on to the multiplayer, which for me is where this game just gets shit. I mean, just look at the DLC weapons. You had to look at all the DLC weapons. The M1 Garand, the lever action. You start with these are the assault rifles: the BAL, the AK, the ARX, the HBA, R3, IMR, MK14. These are the SMGs, the snipers. There were a lot of guns in this game, but there was nearly more DLC weapons than there were base weapons that came with the game, which for me should never happen in a Call of Duty game. The Call of Duty franchise is built around having fun, not having to pay to win most of the time, because a lot of these weapons were very OP, but most people did use the ASM1 and the BAL, which were the most OP guns in the game, probably the most OP things we've ever seen. This was one of the most unbalanced Call of Duties without a doubt. I mean, that M1 Irons kills people I think in 2 shots, which is it's a pistol, it's a revolver, sorry. And then they just went overboard with camos and things like that. You had customizable score streaks, which is different. We haven't seen that before. Here we have the customization, which for me was just it started off, it was probably the most detailed we've seen so far, but it just started off, it was good, and then it just became stupid, just the same as the DLC for Ghost, the microtransactions. It became stupid. You could buy like steampunk outfits and stuff like that. Like, you have the X-ray helmet, like stuff you wouldn't normally see in the original Call of Duties, like COD 4, MW2, World at War, all of those. You wouldn't see that because they really put you in the battle as a soldier, not a cosmetic thing that you made before the game. You were set as that character. Like, if you chose to be a sniper, you were given a ghillie suit. See, look here, you have these stupid exos. But I mean, I'm all for character customization. I love that, but not when it becomes stupid like that. Yeah, to me it was just really dumb. I mean, multiplayer with this, it was so people boosting around. That's the most annoying thing. Then you had the armory with all the variants of weapons. I liked weapon variants, but not a lot of people did, because they would love to just play the base game without any weapon variants. Personally, I didn't get weapon variants until the latter stage of the game when Black Ops 3 was coming out, so that really bummed me out, because I didn't enjoy the game as much. See, like, you had people boosting around most of the time. You'll see here in a second. I think that happens anyway. You play the game, see, just like that, just people boosting around the whole time. I mean, they did add I think it was a classic playlist where you could just play without any exos, but no one played it. It wasn't as good as, it wasn't as populated as other servers, other game modes. More people would want to play just normal Advanced Warfare. So that's when the game fell short for me, when they just I think they tried to innovate the game, but tried too hard. They wanted to take it to a step they've never taken it before, which is exo jumping, but obviously it didn't work. And yeah, I think it could have been a good game. They had the right steps for it to be a good game. They had Sledgehammer behind it. This is their first Call of Duty, but for me, multiplayer was shit, if I had to put it lightly. Shit. So now we're moving on to Exo Survival. Exo Survival is literally a copy and paste of MW3 Survival, but with exo suits and challenges and support drops and score streaks, customizable score streaks. It's the exact same, and they can't deny that. It's the exact same. They didn't try anything new with it. Unless playing with friends was fun for a short while. Me and my friends cubed a map. You get to, I think it's to around 24 or 25, and then you go again and again and again, which just gets repetitive and boring. So I didn't really like that either. Now moving on to the biggest shit heap we have ever seen in the Call of Duty community ever. This is the biggest piece of shit. It's like Sledgehammer and Michael Condrey just took a shit, put it in a bag, lit the bag on fire, put it on your doorstep, waiting for you to come out and stamp out the fire, but then get shit on your foot. For me, I'd rather shit in my hands and clap than play this. Advanced Warfare Zombies is boring. It's just, I mean, what were they doing with the infected thing? If you get infected, you have to go across the map, spend 250 points just to become uninfected for no reason. You didn't have to do that. Why just leave dog rounds instead of having infected rounds? It was stupid. Exo zombies, like they have EMP zombies, if so if you got EMP'd by the zombie, that's it. You would have to wait for your exo to be un-EMP'd so that you can move around again, which for me was just so stupid. And what were they doing with the for their magic box? They had a 3D printer, so if you saw the weapon, you would press square and then you would get that weapon out of the box. But half the time, whenever you hit it, you didn't get it because it would move too fast. So I don't see why they don't just go with what Black Ops did in the form of a magic box. I mean, or they could have done what Infinite Warfare is doing, using a magic wheel. It doesn't really matter. It's zombies. It's your take on zombies. Do what you want. But that 3D printer was so bad. And the perks in this game, you had exo health, Exo Soldier, Exo Reload, Exo Revive, and something else I can't remember. Exo Slam, I don't know if I said that already, but they were just so, you know, they basically stole 4 of the original perks from Treyarch Zombies and put Exo in front of it. It's they could have, you know, they did put Exo Slam in it. That's one of their own perks. Exo Soldier's basically Deadshot Daiquiri, I think. So it was just retarded. And then on the first, you know, you didn't even get Zombies for free. You had to pay for the DLC just to get Zombies. It was in the first DLC, and then the rest of the Zombies maps were just stupid. So, you know, I could rant all day about Zombies on its own, but to be honest, I rather wouldn't because of how bad it is. And finally, for me, I think I would give Advanced Warfare a fair rating of probably 4.3. I think it was total crap. So yeah, thanks for watching, and make sure you watch part 3, which is on Advanced Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which will be tomorrow. So yeah, thanks.